everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to Ad America. Can I have a big applause, everyone? My name is Aninda, one of the guides here in Ad America, and I'm so glad to have our audience here. Though we have invited limited audience here on the studio, hopefully in the near future we can have you all back here again in the studio enjoying our event. I also would like to welcome our audience members joining us online. We hope you are doing well and staying safe at home. If you're new here, Ad America is the U.S. Embassy's American Center, and our mission is to provide a space for young Indonesians to learn more about the United States. And I believe today's event is so important for young Indonesians, especially university students who are about to start their professional career. Well, this event is for you guys because on this event, we'll be having Become an Intern at the U.S. Embassy. But before we begin, how about we spice things up a little bit with a trivia? The question for today is it true or false? Internship opportunities at the U.S. Embassy are only open to certain majors. Let me repeat the question once again. Is it true or false? Internship opportunities at the U.S. Embassy are only open to certain majors. You can start typing in your answer on our social media because in the end of the event, we'll do a live shoutout for those of you who can guess the answer correctly. Other than that, everyone is free to take a selfie, post Instagram story, and make sure you tag Ad America's Instagram account. Without further ado, let me introduce you to our moderators for today. We have two moderators. First, Firziati Sudarmaji, Customer Service Center Director at U.S. Embassy Jakarta, and Mbak Dian Cesarini, Office Management Specialist, U.S. Embassy Jakarta. I'm going to pass the floor to Mbak Firzi and Mbak Dian. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon. We are so delighted to be here. And, well, the U.S. Embassy Internship Program is back this year. Give a round of applause first. Like to hear the excitement. Thank you for those that can participate from here offline, and also those that are joining us virtually. We are so happy that you took the time to listen to us and to listen to the tips that the U.S. foreign diplomats are coming in, are giving you the tips on interning at the U.S. Embassy. A special shout out to My America Jakarta and American Corners UIN Semarang, and also American Corners ITB Bandung, who are cross-posting this event right now. Now, to kick off this event, we are going to listen to some very important opening remarks from a very important person at the by Mission Indonesia, the one and only Jason Johnson, the Acting Senior Human Resources Officer. Give a round of applause for Jason.
Wah, wah. Crowd goes wild. Hello. How's everybody today? That's working. Great. So welcome to the Foreign National Student Internship Program Outreach Event. My name is Jason Johnson. I am the Acting Senior Human Resources Officer at the U.S. by Mission to Indonesia. So I want to give a huge thank you to everybody here in our audience. I know we're joined by administrators and individuals and representatives from universities across the Jakarta metropolitan area. I know online we've got more university representatives and students from everywhere in Jakarta. I heard we had over 1,000 people signed up for just the Zoom. It's massive. We're so excited to have you all here. I'd also like to give a big thank you to all of my colleagues who've come out today to help support this event, to kind of give some information about what we're all doing. And last, I would really like to give a huge thank you to Ad America for hosting this event, putting this together. This is tremendous. Now, I know I've been told in pre-COVID times, before COVID, this place could hold They would have events of over 300 people. Someone said 500 people, massive. Well, today we only have around 30 people that we're kind of letting in. And that, again, is for safety measures. We all obviously wish everybody could join in and be part of this, but we need to, abide by certain safety measures. So, thus we have a ton of people online. So, welcome to everybody online. Today, we're going to talk about the Foreign National Student Internship Program. And we've invited everybody here to give you an introduction on what that program is. And so that you can then, if you're interested, obviously you apply, but you can also go back, and if you're from a university as an administrator, you can go back and tell your students about this opportunity. If you are a student, you can go back and tell your classmates about this opportunity. We welcome everybody to join in on this, to participate, to apply for it. This is an amazing opportunity, this internship program. The students that are selected, 19 will get selected. 19 students. We have 19 vacancies. Will get to participate in this program, and they will get to work in a multicultural environment. They will gain, just an incredible experience, the type of work that they're going to be doing. Truly valuable projects they'll work on. And what I think is one of the most special things is they will get to contribute to strengthening that bond between our two great nations, the Republic of Indonesia and the United States of America. So this is incredibly important for us, and we hope it is for you too. We want to make this great. So again, thank you all so much for coming out today, for joining us online, for your attention, your participation, and thank you all so much. So with that, I will pass this back over to our wonderful host, Ibu Firzi. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
I guess I'm here?
Thank you.
All
Yes,
right.
please do sit. Okay. Now, as Jason mentioned, there are over 1,000 people that signed up for Zoom. But if you get kicked out and you cannot connect through Zoom, you can also connect through our at America's other social media platforms. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. So do not worry for those who cannot attend via Zoom. Now, before we get to the serious stuff, let's do some fun stuff, okay? So we are going to have a trivia quiz, and there will be 3 winners. And all you have to do right now is just have your gadget handy, okay? If you have your gadget handy, okay? Now, what I want you to do is open a browser from your device or your gadget and type in www.menti.com, and then it will ask you for a code. Enter the code 85668424. So the goal of the game is to be fast, but not just fast. Of course, you have to answer the correct question, the correct answer too. So answer right and be fast. Okay,
Fast
if you want to
and
win. So let's see how many people we have right now. 67, 61, we'll wait for a few. Okay, and I think we can start. Are you guys ready? Okay. We can start with the first question. There is a series of 5 questions. We'll wait until it shows up. 5 questions. Answer fast to get more points. Okay. Who is the current U.S. ambassador in Indonesia? Look at your phone. Answer the question.
Come on now.
Two, 1, and time is up. All right. Somebody did actually answer Jason Johnson. Okay.
It's close.
Almost. Okay. So, what Kim? Ambassador Kim. Ready for the second question? Who is now? Oh, okay. We get the leaderboard first. Okay. If you don't see your name on the screen, it means you are not fast enough or you got the answers wrong. Okay. And we have Bill, who has the most points. Okay. We can go to the next question. Waiting for the next question. And remember, fast and right. Who is now the U.S. Secretary of State? Jason Johnson? Who is now the U.S. Secretary of State?
Yes.
Answer fast, but don't answer wrong. Time's up. All right, we have 104. All right, Anthony Blinken, right. Very good. Good job. Okay, let's see. Who has the most points? All right, so if your name is not there, you're not fast enough or you got the answers wrong. Okay. Okay, next, third question. True or false? President Joe Biden is the 46th U.S. president. True or false? Your name is not there. I hope the audience that are here are also participating in the game. True. Okay, very good. We got 125 people who got it right. Nice. Okay. Let's see who's leading for this part. All right. Okay, so if your name is not there, you're not fast enough, you got the answers wrong. Okay. Number 4 out of 5 question. The fourth question out of 5. Are you ready for this one? Let's do it. Who was the poet laureate at the inauguration of President Joe Biden? We have 4 options. John, oh no, I thought it was Jason Johnson there again.
I get around. Everyone.
3, 2, 1. Okay, let's see. Time's up. All right. Yes, most people did get the right answer. Amanda Gorman. Let's see the points. Let's go to the leaderboard. See who's leading. Right. Okay. Wow. I think I see some new names. Very good. Yeah. Okay. The 5th and last question of this trivia is, who is the first president of the United States who lived in the White House? 4 options. A, B, C, or D. Who is the first president of the United States who lived in the White House? Two, 1, and time is up. Okay. Oh, that was a tough one. I don't think I know the answer either. So, John Adams was the correct answer. So, and let's see who's on the leaderboard. We got it. Okay, so who's the winner? We have a Willem Helenicki. Congratulations. So, the winner, there's going to be 3 winners. This is the first, of course, the fastest and the most, the one who has the most answers right. Now, if you are here, we will, if you are actually here offline at America, the team will contact you and will give you the prize. But if you are joining us virtually, the At America team will be in touch, or you can also direct message them and to say that you are the winner and coordinate and for the delivery of the prizes. Okay, now, serious stuff, and I think this is the part where you've been waiting for. It's not the prizes, right, or the trivia quiz. So we'll get into some more serious stuff, and today, well, as I said before, we will have some tips on what is the internship at the U.S. By mission here. So we'll have four U.S. diplomats that are give you the insider tips here. Okay, there is Jason Johnson, SPHR, Emily Yasmin Norris, Hung Vo, and Jason Seymour. So I will call them one by one, and of course the first one is the most important. No, I would. The first one is Jason Johnson. Okay, Jason. Let's see. So Jason Johnson, SPHR, is the acting senior human resources officer to the U.S. by mission in Jakarta, Indonesia. Serving in this position since August 2020, over 17 years of experience in human resources in both private and public sector, and you have received by Jason his senior professional human resources certification.
That's right.
Right.
Woo.
And to you.
And to me. All right. Well, welcome again. Glad to be back up here. I'm going to go ahead and get started with this. Am I supposed to? Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about a few things. I want to kind of cover the nuts and bolts, the process side of this presentation. So we're going to look at kind of what is the by mission? What is this program? What are the different programs that we offer? How is the process working? We're going to go into the different plans and the different agencies and offices that are there. But that first question, the first item, the U.S. by mission and structure, plus minus 20 agencies. So what is the U.S. by mission? So as the name implies, it's two missions, right? By meaning two. So we have two missions to here. The first is the U.S. mission to Indonesia. We have Ambassador Kim. So that is, the U.S. representation to Indonesia. Then the other part of that, the other mission is the U.S. mission to the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN. You're probably all very familiar with ASEAN. So while the United States is not a member of ASEAN, we do like to have representation to it. So again, by mission, we're in the same building, so it makes it very convenient in that wonderful building we have in Central Jakarta. Lovely place. So, and we have about 20 or so agencies in there. And everything from USAID, the Department of Justice, we have agriculture, we've even got the Library of Congress. So lots of different agencies. We're all housed in that same lovely building. All right. So what is this program? So as I mentioned before, it's a great opportunity for university students to do an internship at the embassy. This is open to all university students in Indonesia, well, all universities, all majors. We're looking at all the majors. The students, but they need to be at a minimum in their third year in their bachelor's program or their first year of their master's program. So again, we talk about all majors being accepted. Now, again, if you're looking at an internship that is IT or technical related, you're probably going to want some background in that. But if you're looking at an internship in, say, political or maybe with USAID or one of these other organizations, they can be much more open to different majors. So we try to, we want to get as broad of an audience as possible. So there is no compensation or benefits for this. So this is an unpaid internship. There's no insurance involved, there's no annual leave, anything like that. But there is the value of an incredible experience. Just really a great opportunity to work with so many other amazing people. The programs, the standard one is 3 months. It'll last 3 months. We do have some, I believe, that go for 6 or 12, but most of the ones that we'll be covering are 3-month internship programs that will occur during the summer. All right, so let's look a little bit about the process, the timeline. So where do you find the vacancy announcements? Where do you see what these openings are? Well, you'd go to our embassy website. You'd go to that, you see it right there. I don't need to read it off. They have all the different vacancy announcements listed. Then how do you apply for it? So you go on there and you look at these vacancy announcements, and there's going to be a bunch of them because we're hiring 19 interns. So you're going to see 19 different vacancies there. So you find the one that, or ones, multiple ones, whatever it is, that interests you the most. Then you will prepare all the necessary documentation. So a resume, a reference letter from your university, you will need that. You provide all the packaging, all the required documents, and then you submit the application to Jakarta, FNSIP@state.gov. You have to email in your application. We do not accept applications by mail. We don't accept applications by dropping it off at the embassy. It has to be emailed to that address. So please follow those directions. So once we look at the interview, once we look at these candidates, all these applications, we go through it, we do our screening process, we do all that, and then the individuals that we think have the greatest opportunity to work with us, we will schedule interviews with them. So if you are selected for this interview, please practice. Practice before your interview. It'll help you tremendously. So if you are applying for a particular internship, think about what is that internship going to do. Look in that vacancy announcement, and they'll talk about the projects or the work that's going to be involved. Think about questions that could be related to those to that job. And then how would you answer those questions? Practice that. Practice in front of a mirror. Write the questions out. Ask a family member to ask you those questions. Practice, practice, practice. You will get better and better and better each time you practice. So when the actual interview comes, you'll just knock it out of the park. You'll do an amazing job of it. So we do the interviews. Then we select the individuals we want to offer an internship to. We give them a conditional offer. I say a conditional offer because there's still 2 more pieces involved before that. The first, a medical check, and the second, a security check. You're coming to work in the embassy, we have to do a security check. It's just the way it is. So we'll do those 2 things. The individual, if they pass the medical and the security, then we will we'll provide a formal offer to them, and then they start. So it's great. So that's the process. Then we have our timeline. So you can see the positions are advertised from January 24th to February 18th. So that means they are open now. They are open right now. I would say drop everything you're doing and go look at them, but don't do it yet. Wait till this event is finished, then go look at those announcements. We review the applications. That's in February. Real quick with that advertisement. Again, if it is January 24th through February 18th, we do not accept applications before the 24th. We do not accept applications after February 18th. So please, by all means, abide by that schedule. Follow that. So we start looking at the resume, the applications in February. We do the interviews in March. Conditional offers in early April, clearance in, April, May, formal offers. You can see it right there. The big one, the internship, first day, June 13th. June 13th, the internship will start. And again, we're talking about a 3-month internship. So it's going to end on August 19th. All right, so it's right there in the nice part of summer, when hopefully you got time off from school. If you don't have time off from school, if you have to have a class, we'll work with you on your schedule. We're flexible. We understand that the most important thing is your education. So while we want you to have an internship with us, we'll work if you have a class you need to go to. Totally fine. Not a problem at all. Okay, so here are the sections that are offering internships. You can see that it covers different sections within the embassy, different offices, such as public affairs, political, our customer services center. Looking at you, Avery Fiersey. You'd be working with her. She's amazing. We've got U.S. ASEAN having stuff. We've got different agencies such as commercial, USAID, and then it goes on. We also, important to note, is that it's not only Jakarta that we're offering these. We're also offering opportunities at our consulates. So we have 2 locations for our consulates. The first being our U.S. consulate in Medan, all the way up in Sumatra. The second one is the U.S. Consulate General in Surabaya, down the other end of Java. So it's not only Jakarta, it's at the 3 different locations. And again, what's interesting too is we're trying to make this, in person, but also hybrid. So also teleworking. So depending on the actual internship and what the job is, we're going to try to offer both of these. Last year, when we did the internship, it was pretty much all just teleworking. But now we're able to have people actually back in the embassy and back to the consulates. So we're trying to work with both of those methods, whether it is, again, in person or online. So there is a lot of flexibility. So if you're a university student and you're all the way in Kalimantan, still apply for this. If you're in Papua, if you're in Flores, if you're Sulawesi or somewhere, still apply. Because if there's an online opportunity, we're going to make it work, all right? We want as diverse of a group of people as we can get. It will be fantastic. So I think I am at the end of my slides. I am. And so I will pass this back over to Ibu Fiersey, and I believe she will take it from there.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you all so much.
That was a wealth of information. And I think that maybe some of your questions have been answered already by Jason. Now, let's move on to our second speaker, Emily Yasmin Norris, who will represent the PAS office, Public Affairs section. So Emily Yasmin Norris is the Cultural Affairs Officer at the U.S.Embassy, Jakarta. She joined the Foreign Service in 2009 and has served as Deputy Consul General at the U.S. Consul General in Leipzig, Germany, Assistant Information Officer at the U.S. Embassy in Kabul, Afghanistan, Human Rights Officer with the Office of Iranian Affairs in D.C., Consular Officer at the U.S. Embassy in Cairo, Egypt, and Public Affairs Officer at the U.S. Consulate General in Surabaya, Indonesia. So she's back. She's been here twice.
Yes. Selamat siang. Thank you so much for tuning in. Terima kasih sekali atas kesempatan berbicara dengan semua hari ini. It's wonderful to see so many people in the audience, but to see even more people here virtually today joining us who are interested in partnering with us at the U.S. Embassy, either the Embassy to Jakarta or our colleagues at the mission to ASEAN. I'm going to speak briefly about, just take a step back and say why you should intern with us, and then to talk a little bit about what public affairs does more broadly, and then the 2 positions that we are offering specifically to which you can apply. So first off, I think all of you are here because you have some interest in working with us, hopefully, and I just wanted to take a step back, having worked in Indonesia before and come back here again to say Indonesia and the United States are such natural partners that it is amazing what we can do together. So if you're looking at other internships as well as this one, I would encourage you to look at this one because the United States and Indonesia are the world's largest democracies, some of the world's largest democracies. We have so many shared interests and when it comes to climate change, security issues, human rights, economic trade and partnership in ASEAN, in other international institutions. Our two countries are very much in a strategic partnership with each other, and you can be part of that strategic partnership by interning with us in the political section, in the public affairs section, with our colleagues doing our management and logistics, with our colleagues at the consulates across Indonesia. And what's wonderful is that we have this hybrid program, that we can do it with you in person, and we can also do it with you virtually. So I hope that we have people applying from all over Indonesia, and I'm really excited to be able to share a little bit about what we do in public affairs. So public affairs, Hubungan Masyarakat, is really about connecting people to people. This space that we're in right now is part of public affairs. At America, if you've been to any of our American corners, some of you are tuning in from our American corners or have heard about today's program through our American corners, which we have all over Indonesia, from Sumatra to Java to Borneo, all across. And so these types of programs where we're connecting people to people, right? We have on the government to government level, we have connections with Indonesia, we have business to business connections. What we're about is people to people. So is that working with journalists? That is promoting exchange programs or study in the United States? That's finding cultural programs like music groups or culinary diplomacy or book programs like a reading club or bringing an author to talk about their work to an audience in Indonesia and having a writing workshop. These types of programs, the creative parts of our societies, are what we connect together, the people to the people. So in public affairs, what you would get is an opportunity to look at those types of works in a closer way. We have in our public affairs section 2 different sections that we're offering internships in. The first one is our digital team. So that's what you're tuning in through right now. That's the online social media part of our relationship, which has become increasingly important through COVID. It has always been something that's important in Indonesia. Everyone, it used to be BlackBerries, now it's iPhones, you know, WhatsApp, BBM before then, long time ago. And now it's, you know, it's all of the social media platforms that we have at the embassy. I know we don't have a big audience here, but how many people follow U.S. Embassy social media accounts? Anyone? A few people in the audience. I hope you virtually are also raising your hands, also to get the blood flowing, because we've been sitting down for a long time. So social media is how we connect to people. If you aren't already following us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or any of our other platforms, you should be. At America, or the U.S. Embassy, or your nearest consulate. So for Eastern Indonesia, that would be Surabaya. For Sumatra, that would be Medan. Stay connected with us. And an internship opportunity in our press section with our digital media team would mean working with the folks who put all that content together, working with the folks to create the graphics, the images, the things that pull people in, what's exciting about the topic that we're discussing, to also pull in together the content from other areas. So maybe speeches that people have given or something that's happening in the US, and creating content for public dissemination. Also working across the public affairs section to think strategically about how we're going to message on important goals. I mentioned that the United States and Indonesia have a strategic partnership. We have that partnership in many areas, and we have goals in those areas. For example, combating climate change. So if one of your jobs would be to look at the type of content we're making on social media and how do we talk about climate change and create content that will make people excited about that, do something about that, and understand what the United States and Indonesia are doing together to combat climate change. So that's what we're talking about when we say presenting ideas forward. So you can think strategically in this position. And then also to understand the social media platforms and how effective they are. We want to hear from you, if you're working with us, what could we be doing better? What's your idea? You are out there as young people in Indonesia with a different perspective that you can bring to the table as we say, share with us to help us better connect with your peers across the country. So we hope that you would take the opportunity to join our digital team, if that's something that's interesting to you, to apply for that position, to join the team that makes that content, that makes that virtual connection with people. We have the physical connection, which we have when we're in a room together or attending a program together. We also have this virtual connection, which has become so important today. And so we hope that you'll consider joining that digital team. Give me a second to go to the next slide. One moment. Okay. And then the other position that we have open is on my team. So I'm the cultural attaché. So this would be working with me and my team within public affairs. And this, what we do in cultural affairs is manage all of the educational exchanges and the programs. We also manage at America. So programs like this, really cutting edge, really exciting and interesting things, bringing people together. Specifically, what we're looking for in our internship program is to focus on youth engagement and engaging with our alumni. We have thousands of alumni from various programs. YSEALI, which you're going to hear about a little bit later from one of my colleagues, is one of the types of exchange programs that we have. We have youth exchange programs for high school students. We have exchange programs for senior folks at various governments, in ministries, and also NGOs throughout the country to go to the United States. And one of the things that we want to do is help build that alumni network and work with our alumni who have done amazing things and continue to do amazing things in Indonesia, and when it comes to promoting the US and Indonesian partnership and relationship. So the position that we're looking at for our cultural affairs section would be to work with our youth engagement team, specifically on youth engagement strategies and using our alumni networks to engage broadly across the country, including to help us recruit more people. We want more people from Flores, from Ende, from Papua, from Sulawesi, from Sumatra to have the opportunities to join our exchange programs. We have so many opportunities out there, and a lot of times the information doesn't get to everybody who might have a chance to join. And so part of what we want to do is help develop a strategy for across the nation to improve and increase recruitment from all across Indonesia. So in the cultural affairs position, so the second position in public affairs, we'll focus more on that strategy of engaging youth across the country and using our alumni networks to engage youth, to connect with us and to participate in various programs. So overall, I think you should apply to any of the sections, but I hope that you apply to work with us in public affairs because we really are excited to have the opportunity to work with you. If it's in person, great. If it's virtual, also great. We're just really, really happy to see that you're interested in joining us in promoting the strategic partnership between Indonesia and the United States. Thank you very much, and I'll hand it back to the moderator.
Thank you. Thank you, Emily. Wow, the description of what the interns would be doing in past sounds very exciting. And now, and I'm sure just as exciting, I will invite our third speaker from USAID, Hung Vo. Hung Vo is the Environment Officer at USAID Indonesia. He was previously a research fellow at Harvard University and the United Nations Environment Program. He obtained his degrees in urban planning from Cornell University and Harvard University. Give a round of applause for Hung Vo.
All right, thank you, everyone. I feel like it's difficult to follow Emily, and I feel like I should be an intern with pass now. But while I was sitting there, I was thinking, you know, one way we could make the trivia questions a little more spicy and exciting is to have the winner get an internship spot next year, maybe, you know? So maybe tweet to At America, you know, if you want this to happen next year, and tag Jason Johnson. Maybe he'll make it work. But thank you for an opportunity to talk about USAID. USAID is the United States' premier international development agency. And for over 60 years, we've been working with the government of Indonesia to address all sorts of challenges that impede Indonesia's growth. And this year, we have a number of exciting internships, equally as exciting as past maybe, but I don't think I can follow Emily in terms of the enthusiasm. The first internship that I'll share about, I'm sorry we only showed 3 in the presentation, but there are a total of 6 or 7, is with my Office of the Environment. And USAID Indonesia has one of the United States' largest environment portfolio. And we literally do everything under the sun related to the environment, from urban resilience, which I work on, including waste management, plastic pollution, water and sanitation, to forest and marine conservation. So we're a really big office, and we have an exciting opportunity for an intern to work on waste management and plastic, which doesn't seem as exciting as, working, connecting youth on social media, but I think it's very rewarding work. For those who aren't aware, Indonesia is one of the largest contributors to ocean plastics. And your government recently has launched ambitious plans to manage a lot of the country's waste by 2024, as well as reduce ocean plastics significantly by 70% by 2025. And so at USAID, all of the work that we do is connected to government priorities and what the Indonesian government wants to partner on. So we have an exciting new project on waste management that we need an intern to support us on. Broadly, USAID works on several areas, from governance to the environment to economic growth and health office. We also have a very strong representation from our resident legal advisor, who advises us on different matters relating to how we can act in Indonesia and what types of partnerships we can create. There's also an internship opportunity to work with Ibu Laura in the resident legal office as well. Next slide. All right, so the Office of the Resident Legal Officer is responsible for advising on legal and policy matters relating to mission operations and programming and across our entire portfolio. So as an intern in the Resident Legal Office, you can conduct basic research, assist with the formulation of training for staff, and do other research related to the law in Indonesia. And finally, an internship opportunity I'll focus on is with our communications office. Similarly to past work in terms of connecting with Indonesians and the youth, we also would like to, at AID, to connect with communities across Indonesia and to share the great work that the government of the United States is doing here in the country. So with Doc, you would have many opportunities to share and create stories relating USAID's work and partnership here in Indonesia, as well as to help us communicate it back to Americans, to show them what the partnerships here in Indonesia has materialized. I think for the different interns that we'll have and take on this year, you will all have an opportunity to connect and learn with leading technical specialists in your field of interest, whether it's health, whether it's governance, whether it's the environment. And we hope for an opportunity to also take our interns out to the field to see our beneficiaries, to see our partners, to see the communities whose lives have changed as a result of the partnership with USAID and the government of Indonesia. In terms of what Jason had mentioned about the background, since we are a diverse agency, we look for interns with broad skills and interests, but ideally someone with a genuine interest for making the lives of their communities better, the lives of their country members. And so I think we have various opportunities that can appeal to a broad range of students' skills and interests, but ultimately we would like someone who's just enthusiastic and energetic about wanting to make the world a better place. And I think that's what everyone at USAID, the mindset that they have. So if you think you have that mindset, I think that's pretty much the most fundamental skill that we're looking for at AID. Thank you.
Thank you, Hook. Thank you, Hang Fo. Thank you for describing the different portfolios for the interns to work on this year. Now, last but not least, from Jakarta, I'm going to call the fourth speaker, Jason Seymour, who will be representing U.S. mission to ASEAN. And it's again it's a public affairs office. So Jason Seymour is the missions spokesperson, and he oversees the leadership training programs for the young Southeast Asian leaders. He is passionate about many causes, including human trafficking and sustainable development. He previously served the U.S. Department of State in Equatorial Guinea, China, Mexico, Israel, and Pakistan. Before joining the U.S. Department of State, he was a journalist and completed academic programs at UCLA and in Spain and Brazil. And he spent his childhood in the wine country of California. So let's welcome the Public Affairs Officer for U.S. Mission to ASEAN, Jason Seymour.
Thank you so much. And the clicker. All right, thank you so much. I'm really excited to be here because we have a lot of exciting programs and opportunities if you decide to intern with us. Just to take a step back, it's already been mentioned that the U.S. Embassy in Jakarta is a bi-mission. And what that means is that we have a mission to the government of Indonesia, and that if you intern for one of those offices, you will be primarily focused on the relationship between Indonesians and Americans. But we also have the mission, the U.S. mission to ASEAN, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. And if you come to intern in our office, you will be focused on all of Southeast Asia and the relationship between America and Southeast Asians. So you will have a different focus. Now, we do collaboration with all kinds of offices within the mission. So we sometimes work with our counterparts, including my colleague who previously mentioned or previously made a presentation. But let's talk about our mission. Now, we have an internship opportunity focused on the Young Southeast Asian Leaders Initiative. Now, hopefully you all know what this is. If you are between the ages of 18 to 35, and you are not already a member of the Waisili network, what are you waiting for? Look us up. You see the title there, Waisili, look us up. You can register to become a member of our network, and we have lots of social media platforms and lots of opportunities for you. But let's talk specifically about the internship opportunity. All right, Waisili was launched in 2013. I hope you're all good at math. We just celebrated our 8th anniversary. That was on December 3rd. We had a very special event. The Young Southeast Asian Leaderships Initiative is the U.S. government signature program to strengthen leadership development and networking in Southeast Asia. So we have all kinds of programs. It goes on and on and on. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we have several different kinds of programs. We have regional workshops, academic fellowships, professional fellowships, Seeds for the Future, which is a grants program, and we have the Waisili Academy. And we're going to get to that in a little more detail. Okay, but first let's take a step back and think about the overall themes. We have 4 that we focus on: civic engagement, economic empowerment and social entrepreneurship, education, and environmental issues. So you've heard a lot about the environment today. You'll be working on the environment if you come to work for us as well. Now, as you can see, these themes are rather broad. So there's lots of room for your creativity if you come to intern for us. We'll definitely have projects for you, but there will be space for you to bring your own ideas, your passions, what interests you. Okay, as I mentioned before, it's for individuals who are between the ages of 18 to 35. You can see all the countries here: Brunei, Burma, Cambodia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Laos, Singapore, Thailand, Timor-Leste, and Vietnam. So it's all the 10 member states of ASEAN plus Timor-Leste. And we want, as is mentioned before, we want young leaders who are passionate about causes, who want to make a difference, in Southeast Asia. We certainly do. And one of the exciting parts about interning at a U.S. embassy is you're going to meet lots of Americans, lots of locals, lots of Indonesians, Southeast Asians, who all found our jobs, wanted to work at the embassy because we are passionate about the world, about Indonesia, about Southeast Asia. That energy is contagious. You'll feel it for us, you'll feel it from us, and we're going to feel it from you. So we hope you'll join us. Went too far. Now, 3 types of programs we have. Waisili Learns. So I hope you all know about this program. This is an online resource. These are courses that you can take. We already have them online now, so you could take them. Whether you're selected for this internship or not, this is an available course for you. So you're going to help us develop. One example of a course is on managing a business of great interest to entrepreneurs. We also have Waisili webinars. Waisili webinars have focused on the future workforce. Waisili webinars have focused on ocean conservation and managing the seas. And then we also have our unified program, which is a really exciting program. We just completed the 2021 version. This is a volunteer program where we have community leaders all over Southeast Asia come up with community improvement projects, and then we help them out, we mentor them, we give them lots of advice, we receive their reports, we share things on all our social media platforms. Really, really exciting. And we start preparing it right away in January. We're already thinking of the next iteration. It's usually a November, December volunteer program, but we're already getting it started throughout the year. All right. And we have funded more than $2 million for various community projects. We put a lot of money behind these projects, and you're going to help us distribute those funds. So we manage all the social media platforms for Waisili, so you have lots of opportunities to engage in digital campaigns. We do YouTube videos. I hope that you are looking at the U.S., ASEAN, and Waisili YouTube pages, and that you subscribe to our Facebook and Twitter pages. I think we have next, if I remember correctly, here's all our Waisili social media platforms. Facebook, there's a little quiz for you all. You should know all these icons. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Flickr. Does anyone know number 6? And Tumblr. So we have lots of different places for you to find information. And in the Waisili network, does anyone have any idea how many Southeast Asians are part of the Waisili network? Oh, there it goes. More than 150,000 Southeast Asians are part of our network. So we hope that you'll join us and help us keep increasing that number. We've had lots of activities over the year. Does anyone know this guy? Our former president, President Obama, at a very special Waisili town hall. This took place in Malaysia. This was a gathering that we had in the Philippines. Anyone know where this is? This is in Indonesia. But in the pre-COVID days, we hope we'll be having gatherings like this soon. And then we also send Southeast Asians to the United States, and there's lots of coordination involved in that as well. So this is gathering some pumpkins in Georgia, state of Georgia. All right, Kennesaw. You know, lots of dynamic leaders all over Southeast Asia, and we hope that all of you are young leaders, and we hope that at least one of you will come to intern for us and help us organize our many programs. This was at the Twitter headquarters. I believe it was in Singapore. My assistants were here, they'd help me out. I'm pretty sure that was Singapore. I have so much to get to, and I'm running out of time. I see the clock ticking down. But you will have lots of opportunities if you come working for us, working on the digital space, organizing programs, fellowships, campaigns, and all of it with a focus on all of Southeast Asia. So you'll be interacting with people throughout all the 11 missions of those countries. Lots of opportunities for you, and definitely opportunities for you to be creative and come with your own ideas. So I want to thank you so much. I could have gone on for another 10 minutes, but lots of great opportunities with us. Really a chance to make a difference in the world, in Southeast Asia, and I hope you'll consider applying for our internship. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Jason, for a very thorough and lovely pictures, by the way. I said last but not least, but actually we have two other speakers that are not in Jakarta, and we'll be joining them. They will be joining us virtually. And so those two speakers will be in the next session, the second session. I would like to remind you that there will be a Q&A session after this, and that you can ask your questions later on, and we will take questions from the audience and also from the virtual audience. And with that, I will invite my co-moderator, Ceci, who will lead the session 2, with the two other speakers from Medan and Surabaya.
Thank you, Mbak Firzi. Good afternoon, everyone. Before we start, I just want to say hi to all of our virtual audience from Medan, Surabaya, Eastern Indonesia, all over Indonesia, or wherever you are, and all of the audience here in America. Welcome to America, and I hope you enjoy our first sessions that we have listened to all of the information from our speaker in session 1. So, let's start with a quiz. We're going to have our second trivia quiz. So if you pay attention to all of our speakers, you have a higher chance to win. So, but if you just join us right now, don't worry. You might be luckier than them who learn more than you are. So go ahead, join us. Type www.menti.com and then use the code 36092419. And it's not going to take a lot of your time. There's only 5 questions. So if you're at home right now, cooking, cleaning, studying, I think you better stop and grab your device and join us for the quiz. All right, we have a great goodie bags from U.S. Embassy for you all. There will be 3 winners, so make sure you're with us, okay? I think we're ready. We have question number 1. U.S. spy mission in Indonesia is located in the following areas except, I think this is the easy one, Jakarta, Surabaya, Yogyakarta, Medan. We have 10 seconds left. I hope you have a quick thumb. We'll see the answers. 3, 2, 1. Time's up. All right. I think you all have listened very well. Good job, guys. Okay. Second. Okay. This is the leaderboard first. Congratulations, Sefia, Thomas, Kiki. For the rest of you who didn't see your name there, so make sure you'll be there next questions, okay? Question number 2. What is FNSIP? What is FNSIP? I hope you take notes in the presentation earlier so you get this right. And please be careful reading the answers. I hope you get this right. Ooh, that was tricky. Okay, you thought you were right? But not enough. Good job, Miriam, Putri, Windia. Congratulations. Right, see, you have to be careful. You need to be fast, but you still have to be careful and read thoroughly the question. Question number 3. Youth outreach, youth exchange, and study are only a few of the programs that you will be involved in if you are interested in this section. Oh, tough ones. You better listen to the presentation very well to understand this. But if you got everything right, then it shouldn't be a problem. Woohoo! Wow, you all are, I think most of you are a good listener. Good job. Okay, congratulations, Miriam, Windia, Putri. You're on the leaderboard right now. Make sure you're towards the end of this quiz. Next question. Question number 4. This agency is primarily responsible for administering civilian foreign aid and development assistance. Which one? I think the clue is in the question. I think so. So, make sure you'll be quick and correct. 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Yay! 156 got it right. Good job, guys. And then the last question. Oh, leaderboard first. Sorry, I forgot. It's Miriam again. Reza, Windia. Hey, you guys are quick. Good job. So last question. Make sure you get this right and the fastest. The 5th question. True or false? YSEALI is the U.S. government's signature program to strengthen leadership development and networking in Southeast Asia. True or false? If you don't know, then just pick one. At least you got 50% chances to right. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Our final question. We'll see how it goes. True. Woohoo! Congratulations. Who are the winners? Miriam, Gaga, and Reza. So make sure you all are writing to our Ad America social media and mention that you are the winners. Congratulations, guys, for the goodie bags. So let's move on to our next speaker from Medan and Surabaya. We have Dylan Hoi from Surabaya and Rahma Jawrinata from Medan. Do we have them ready on virtually? Hi Dylan and Mbak Rahma.
Halo Bu, selamat sore.
Sore, hello. Okay, thank you for joining us today. I think we all got excited to wait for all of your presentations. Let me first introduce Dylan Hoi from Surabaya. So Dylan Hoi is the Deputy Political Economic Officer at U.S. Consulate General Surabaya. Dylan previously interned in the Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor's Office of Policy Planning and Public Diplomacy, and in the Office of the Refugee Coordinator at the U.S. Embassy in Nepal. Dylan earned his bachelor from Claremont McKenna College and a master's in public administration from Columbia University. He developed an interest in the Foreign Service after he studied abroad in Oman through the department's YES Abroad program as a senior in high school. Dylan Hoi. Next,
Hello?
please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes. Okay. Oh, I have this on my back. Hi, Dylan. Is there?
Hello Bu.
Okay, Pak. So it's over to you, please, your presentation. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Great, 1 second. Okay. See the slide deck, please. Great. Well, Selamat sore semuanya. I want to give a special shout out to everyone who is attending from East Java, from Eastern Indonesia. Really happy to have you online, and I want to say thank you to all my colleagues at America and from the Bio Mission who gave excellent presentations and have done a great job to put this event together. So as previously mentioned, I am the Deputy Political and Economic Officer at U.S. Consulate General Surabaya. And just as background, the Consulate General in Surabaya is responsible for managing relations, engagement with Eastern Indonesia. So Eastern Indonesia by department or by mission, by the mission's definition, is everything from East Java to North Maluku, excluding Papua, West Papua, and Kalimantan. So a very diverse, dynamic area that in terms of population would exceed the population of many, many countries in the world. So it's a fascinating place to work. However, compared to the embassy, we do have a smaller staffing footprint. So by nature of kind of our district and also the number of staff we have at the consulate, our focus tends to be more broad. And from my section in particular, we cover political, economic, and commercial issues. Next slide, please. So as I said earlier, I would say there's three main buckets or three main themes that we cover: political, economic, and commercial trends. And I think the best way to describe our work is to think of it like a mix between being a reporter and being maybe a research analyst at a think tank. So one of my responsibilities, I'm technically the political officer, is to identify and analyze trends in Eastern Indonesia, and then report that information to my colleagues in Jakarta and in DC, US policymakers in DC. So to do that, we have to schedule meetings with contacts, as we call them, with just people in the community. It could be politicians, human rights activists, faith leaders, develop those relationships and travel, frankly, and to meet these people and or during the pandemic, meet with them virtually. As a political officer, as I said earlier, I meet frequently with Muhammadiyah, with NU, with the Catholic Church in NTT, Gimim in North Sulawesi, and my colleague, my boss, Roshina Rodi, who's the economic officer, she's meeting with people in renewable energy and the mining sector. Commercial colleagues are meeting with US companies that are operating in our district. So our work is very, very broad, and unfortunately, I can't get into all of it today, but I want to talk a bit about some of the skills you'll develop if you are selected to intern with us. Next slide, please. So as I said, a lot of our work is meeting driven. So one of the biggest responsibilities that any intern would have in our section is to essentially take notes during these meetings, to attend these meetings with us, either virtually or in person, and to report those notes out back to us, right? If we're holding bigger, larger meetings where we require someone to MC for us or to be a moderator, we've had previous interns perform that role. So if you are really keen and interested in public speaking, this is still a great opportunity for you. And also, because a lot of our reporting requires intensive research, we'll give you tasks essentially of, hey, can you look at this legislation, or can you look into this political development or this economic development? And within a couple days or a week or however long, can you send a one-page report or kind of analysis of whatever the issue is? So with this internship, you will develop your skills as a writer, your analytical skills by, again, conducting research and drafting, writing. You'll be able to practice your skills in terms of note-taking and presenting information to myself and to other people within the consulate. And I think most importantly, you'll gain an understanding of Eastern Indonesian politics and economics. And you can use that knowledge and expertise and bring it with you in whatever career you decide to pursue after this internship. And if I could just make one last quick point, because I know my time is running out. What we really look for in an intern is curiosity, enthusiasm, and commitment. And I think they all come from the same place within someone. But essentially, because some of these issues are a bit niche, maybe not something that you're familiar with, just having the enthusiasm and the curiosity to jump into it and to see the value in it is tremendous. And we always look for that in our interns. And thankfully, we've had tremendous interns up to this point. So with that, that's the end of my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions during the Q&A. And I'd like to turn over to my colleague from Medan. Thank you.
Thank you, Dylan. Thank you for your thorough information. And I think I'm interested to apply to be a moderator in Surabaya after being a moderator here in America, right? Isn't that interesting? I mean, thank you. Give him a round of applause to Dylan Hui. Thank you. So next presenter is from Medan, Rahma Jaurinata, Mbak Rahma. She is the political, economic, and public diplomacy specialist to the U.S. Consulate in Medan. Rahma has over 22 years of experience serving in this position, focusing in Sumatra. Prior to joining the consulate, Rahma was a professional architect and a lecturer at the local university in Medan. She was elected as the Department of State's Local Staff of the Year from the East Asia and Pacific region in 2003. Mbak Rahma.
Yeah, thank you, Ceci.
Yeah, Mbak. Okay. Thank you. So, yeah, it's over to you, Mbak.
All right. Okay. So, first of all, Horas from Medan.
Horas.
And I'm very happy to see some people signing in from Medan and also from Sumatra. So, it's nice to see a lot of interest from the young people as well. So, we're in Medan at the consulate. You see me, I'm not an American diplomat. I'm actually a local staff. But I'm happy to be able to join this and give you sort of like the vibe. How is it like for local Indonesians to work with the embassy and the consulate? So can we put the slide, the first slide? Yeah, so as you may all know, there are two consulates in Indonesia, one in Surabaya and another one is in Medan. And really Medan is even smaller than Surabaya. Because we have very few local staff serving the 10 provinces in Sumatra, ranging from Aceh all the way to Lampung, including Riau Island and also Bangka Belitung. So that talks about serving 55 million people. And because we have very small staff, under a program, we only have 4 people. So it's very, very few people who are covering really broad issues in Sumatra. That includes, for instance, ranging from human rights and then trafficking, and then be that on mining issues, environmental issues, and many more. So again, the positions that we're planning to open up in Medan, it's going to be heavy to the political and economic position, but it doesn't close the opportunity to also learn about public affairs and helping out the public affairs section. Maybe we can go to slide 2, Ceci.
I'm sorry, Mbak.
Yeah, slide 2. Okay, so what is it that we're doing in Medan for the political and economic part of the work? So again, just like as my colleague mentioned before, Dylan from Surabaya, yes, we are sort of like a reporter, but at the same time sort of like a think tank where we're supposed to do some kind of like a research on the political and economic development in Sumatra. And then also we do analysis on the trends and also provide reports to the consul in Medan and also to the embassy in Jakarta. We often work with the political section and economic section in Jakarta, but we also from time to time sometimes we work with the consulate in Surabaya for joint reports.
Mbak Rahma, I'm sorry, probably it's the signal coming from a nearby cell phone at your end. We're kind of like breaking out hearing your voice. I just want to make sure.
Is it better now?
Yes, it's better
okay
now. Yes. Thank you, Mbak.
Okay, so should I repeat what I mentioned before?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, so anyway, what we're doing in Medan is actually we're doing online research and analysis on political and economic trends in Sumatra. So that's what we need from you to help us out on that one, covering the 10 provinces that I just mentioned before. And we do coordinate with the different sections at the embassy, the political and economic sections. So again, we want someone who's dynamic and very flexible to move from one subject to another, because this position is going to be not specialist, but more of a generalist. And then we hope for the intern later to help us also in making daily news summaries, and also helping out, if possible, travel when travel is necessary to different districts in Medan to support meetings, and also, to assist us with informal interpretation if needed. And in that meetings, it's going to be very useful for the interns, because then you get to meet different officials, civil society leaders, academics, and a lot of interesting people across Sumatra that can enrich your contact network and also enrich your knowledge about the political and economic development in Sumatra. This position, because again, Medan is very small, we expect someone who's flexible and dynamic, has got the enthusiasm, because we also want this person later to help us to support event preparation and also to perform routine clerical tasks. But for sure, I can guarantee you that working in Medan is going to be very fun, because then you work with the consul, but you'll be also working with me and my colleagues, and we try to make it professional, but at the same time for you to experience really good experience in at the working environment. I guess that's it. We can go to the next one. Next slide. Of course, when you are done with the internship, it doesn't close the chance for you to become a very good writer. We hope that you can write a clear report, and then you will be able to manage a team at the same time. You will know how to interact with different contexts and how to approach them to get informations, and how to present that in writing. And then also, because you will be helping us in preparing events, we hope for you to be fluent in, for instance, like doing a moderating job, preparing for events, that kind of stuff. Therefore, when you graduate, when you're done with the internship, then you'll be ready for the job that you are interested in the future. That's it from Medan, Ceci. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mbak Rahma. It's a very interesting information, right? I think now all the students from Medan, Sumatra, and surrounding, maybe all of you here probably want to try to join Mbak Rahma in Medan. Thank you again, Mbak Rahma. So now let's move on to the question and answers. All right. So I think we have some questions from our online platform on our screen, but before that, I think I'm going to ask the audience, our invitation in At America, who has questions. You may raise your hand and will be answered directly by our speakers here. And remember, we have goodie bags for all of you who wants to ask the questions. Anybody? Don't be shy.
We love questions.
Yeah. Or don't be shy, shy cat.
There's one.
Okay. Anyone? Okay. Yeah. Please tell your name and which institution are you from?
Okay, my name is Wanda Olivia Tejomoyo. I'm from Jakarta Institute of Arts. I wanted to ask if there are any program that that has a specification in art, or a program that related to my major in arts. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Wanda. So, Jason, do you want to answer?
Well, thank you so much for your question. Thank you for your attendance. This is great. I hope you enjoyed the goodie bag. The question was, do we have any program that's directly related to art? So it's kind of a broad area, I would say, with art. But after hearing some of my speakers up here, I know we're dealing a lot with, kind of online, digital platform, digital work. So in that regard, yes. I'm not going to say that we're painting murals in the embassy. That's probably not what we're doing. Though there could be space, I've got a white wall, but so I would guess maybe is there anything in your area that would speak to that?
Hi. Yes, thank you so much for your question. So in public affairs, actually, some of our team members are graduated from fine arts academies. So the type of work that we do in public affairs is not directly, I don't know exactly what you're studying. Is it painting? Is it, the philosophy of art? Whatever it is. But I will say that theme and that cultural theme of connecting through art is one that we do focus on in the public affairs section, either on the sort of graphic design and design side of things, the production of materials that are then used to promote programs, so on our digital team. But then also we do have, not so much right now, but in times, hopefully, inshallah, in the future, again, more of our cultural programming where we do have artists of various types, including dance, music, fine arts, different types of fields, participate in cultural programs and exchanges that we bring cultural envoys to Indonesia. So if you're interested in taking your art degree and looking at some of the practical applications in the diplomatic or business type world, I think that public affairs might be a good place for you to look.
And I just want to add a general comment, and this is for anyone of any major. There's really two ways of looking at internships. One way is to think about what you're studying, and you want to get some work experience related to your field, just to make sure what exact job you want to do within that field. Another way of looking at an internship is to try something completely different. It's a summer program. It's, whatever you're studying now, maybe you want to try something that's completely unrelated to what you're studying. Now is the time to do it when you're young and you try different jobs and try different things. So you can also think of it expansively. We're really open to anyone. We're rarely looking for someone with a very specific major or a specific skill. We just want people who are enthusiastic and eager to learn. So you can perceive this internship program any way you want. Just go for a job that interests you.
If I could add, what I think you'll find interesting with a lot of my colleagues, a lot of the individuals at the embassy, is a lot of people go into these careers, but that wasn't their major that they were studying. It just, they had their major, which they enjoyed at university, but the career they chose was maybe they just wanted to do something to give back to society, to make the world a better place. So they decided to get into this type of field. So by all means, don't disqualify yourself by not applying because you think your major is not applicable. By all means, come and try us out. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for the answer, all speakers. So anybody has another questions from the audience?
Okay. I'm Nana from Binus University. Actually, this is not the first collaboration between U.S. Embassy and our university. We have started since 2018, if I'm not mistaken. But for the long duration, since I just saw your presentation, Jason, starting from 3, 6, and also 12 months. So I just confused since we have starting with the 1-year collaborations. How about the 6 months? It's just because I think this is the right time for discuss, especially for widely the internship opportunity, not only for computerized major, since we have collaborations until now for the support in IT. But I think from your another presentation is also applicable for another majors in Binus University. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
So I believe the question, it was related to the length of the internships,
Yes,
correct?
correct.
And that's great. Thank you so much for your question. And that's fantastic that your university is already collaborating with the U.S. by mission to Indonesia. So, as we mentioned, the internships that were presented today, these opportunities are all 3-month-long internships. For the 6 to 12-month internships, I believe those are primarily in the kind of the technology field, in IT, those specific areas. Again, these other ones have traditionally been 3 months long.
Thank you, Pak Jason, and thank you for your question. Any other question? Yes.
Okay. Hi, thank you. My name is Davi from Esa Unggul University. So thank you so much for your explanation. We have discussion with our students. Nowadays because of the pandemic, we do everything online, probably hybrid, as you mentioned before, that makes a possibility. My question is also probably on behalf of my students. Startup is now a hype, so we use a lot of software, for example, like Trello, Asana for the project management, and also Slack, and probably WhatsApp, and probably Menti.com. Is there any specific software, or also is there a possibility for students to bring their ideas? We can use this software for online collaboration. Also, we can use this one for the quiz or etc. Is there a specific software or probably your recommendations? So when the student would like to apply to the internship, they already prepare their soft skill to do the software, or also for others anticipations. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So,
Again, thank you so much for your question. It's great. So kind of asking, is there room for other software skills and tools to be used within the embassy? I'm going to see if my colleagues have any experience with other software tools or skills that we've had in your programs.
May I?
Please.
So I would say we do have platforms that we use, particularly on in our virtual programming and digital programming. Some of the things you've seen us use today here at America, or there are other things that we use generally within the embassy for collaboration, particular software tools. Speaking from the perspective of public affairs, we are always looking for new ideas on what's the cutting edge way to connect with people. So if somebody, it's great if you have a skill set to be able to, obviously we expect people to be able to use Word and things like that, like the basics, right? But then if you have a skill set, say in using Zoom functions, Menti functions, things like that, that's helpful for us in public affairs. Or if you're coming with an idea that's saying, listen, look, you guys need to be on Twitch, you need to be on Discord, this is how you use it, I know how to use it, let me give a training session for the rest of the team on this. That's super helpful for us because we're always trying to learn what the next big thing is going to be. We have to be where the people are. And so if you're coming to us with those ideas, that's hugely helpful and we would greatly appreciate it. That's speaking from the public affairs perspective, at least.
thank you. Any other speaker would like to add?
Yeah, thanks, Emily. It's exciting to hear about other technologies being used in your section. I think for aid, fundamentally, we don't use new programs. A lot of what we use are pre-approved, and I think as a federal government agency, a lot of the information that we deal with need to be protected, and we can't vouch for a lot of these software. So I think ultimately, if someone's interested in aid, they don't have to worry about if they're up to date on any particular software or skill. I think basic skills that you're obtaining in a college or master's degree is sufficient to apply for any one of our internships.
Thank you. Any other additional information?
My public affairs colleague put the answer perfectly. I'll just say absolutely yes. We're always open to new ideas.
Thank you. Thank you for all the explanation, all the speakers. Now let's maybe move on to the questions from our virtual audience. The first question we have from Adinda from Zoom. Hi there. How many positions are we allowed to apply? By Jason, probably you can try.
I don't think there's a limit. Dion, is there a limit? No, there's no limit. You see ones you like, apply for it. But make sure when you submit the application that your application designates which position that application is for. So if you're applying for 6 different positions, make sure we know that this application is for that position, this application is for that one. So be clear about that. But no, there is no limit on the number of positions you can apply for.
Thank you, Pak Jason.
I would only say that when people are evaluating your application, you're obviously competing with other applicants. So it's useful if you put something in your application about why the position appeals to you. So you might want to have a line, at least a sentence that applies to, that says something different about each position and why you would like that position.
Thank you, Pak. Okay, the next question coming from Shamsu Erwin from Zoom. About the interview, what language will be used, Indonesian or in English?
English.
Okay.
We do the interviews in English. So for this program, we do not have a specific English requirement. You do not have to have scored high on a TOEFL. You don't need a TOEIC. You don't need any of these type of things. But as you can see from our event today, we speak English for the most part. Most communication done in the embassy is in English. But that being said, the vast majority of employees that work at our embassy are Indonesian. So there is a lot of communication that is also done in Indonesian. So while it is not a requirement to be proficient in English, it is clearly helpful. The interview will be in English. If you're writing a report, chances are it's going to be in English. So, but just because your English is not fluent, don't let that disqualify you. Still go ahead and apply. Colleagues, anything to add on that?
I think it's pretty clear. Jadi pede aja, okay? So the next question.
And I think they say TOEFL, but how do you pronounce it here?
TOEFL.
I thought in the last thing they said
Really?
something different. TOEFL. That's right.
Yes.
TOEFL and TOEFL is the same thing. So neither one is needed for this.
Thank you for the clarification, Pak Jason. Now we understand. Okay, next question coming from Robbie from Zoom. Hello, is it possible for students who didn't have any work or internship experience to apply this internship program?
Absolutely. Some of you might have watched a similar event we had maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago. It was a live Instagram, Facebook event. We had a previous intern who was on there. She has now gone on to work for a very prestigious company here in Indonesia. The internship that she did with us was her first internship. So yes, you do not need experience as an intern or particular experience in a particular field. Anybody and everybody is welcome to try.
Thank you, Pak Jason. Is there any questions from the audience? Yes, please. Someone help? Okay, thank you.
Hello, my name is Jessica from Universitas Multimedia Nusantara. I want to ask about, is there any possibilities that the intern can become a full-timer after the 3 months program? And what are the requirements? Thank you.
Thank you. Jason?
Sure, I'll take that one. Thank you so much for the question. That was fantastic. Question is, once an intern once they complete this internship, a 3-month, is there a bridge, is there a process to become a full-time employee? So there is nothing, there is no mechanism, there's no tool, there's no process in play that helps that intern become an employee. If an individual completes their internship program and they see a job opportunity at the embassy that they're interested in, they'll need to apply for that, and they would follow the same procedure as any other employee, any other applicant. But I will say, having that experience, you're already familiar with how we operate. You're familiar with the lingo that we use. So it does give you a leg up. It does give you some advantage to it. But we don't have a program that kind of automatically transfers you over to it. So, and while I have it, we do post our jobs regularly online. If you go to our website, you will see all the jobs that we have. And I believe it's updated. We send out notifications on Fridays. We update it all the time whenever there's something possible. So please be sure to check our website to our online system. Thank you so much for that question.
Thank you. Another question from the audience?
Hi, my name is Farah. I'm from Sampurna University. I understand, I believe that you're going to have thousands applicants because it's an interesting opportunity. But if you can share from your previous experience, which kind of applicant who is being accepted in this kind of program? I understand who will meet your requirements, but if you can share another tips or tips for the applicant for successfully being accepted in your program. Thank you.
This is a great question. Thank you so much for coming today and asking that. The question is, what are some ideal characteristics of individuals we're looking for to become to become interns at us? As she mentioned, we could get thousands of applicants. So what will distinguish one from the other? With this, I would like to pass this to my colleagues because they're the ones that are going to be looking for interns. So what are these ideal characteristics? What are you going to be looking for in the candidates?
If I may, if we're going down the line here. Some of the things that we're going to be looking for are what motivates you to be an intern. So why do you want this position, right? Specifically the position you're applying for, not generally. I mean, generally why you want to work with the U.S. is very helpful, but specifically why you want that position. And particularly just a general recommendation for people applying for jobs or internships anywhere, look at the things listed in that description. What skill set do you have that matches what we're trying to do with that position? So the digital team, right? One of the things that's mentioned there is graphic design. So if you have experience in graphic design, I would suggest you mention that in your application, right? If it's the political section, I'm going to guess that if you ever worked in, writing reports or you have a lot of research experience, that's going to be something helpful to highlight in that application. So what's your motivation? And then what skills are you actually bringing that are relevant to the position to which you are applying? Those would be two things that we would be looking for.
Thank you. I guess the job descriptions that we shared, some of them seem highly technical, but I just want to encourage everyone not to be distraught. When I mention waste management or when I mention ocean plastic pollution, you definitely don't need to have those experiences to be an intern. The whole point of an internship is to get the experience, and I don't get these new intern positions that are requiring you to have other experience before applying. So I would encourage everyone, as to the earlier question, to apply to those positions that you're interested in. I think from being on the receiving side of applications, there are also moments when you sort of see who definitely spent more time on their application than others. There might be 1,000, people applying, but maybe only 50 to 100 of them actually spent the time to answer questions meaningfully and not just copy and paste something from another application. So we can definitely tell if you spent the time on your application. And similarly, because we're not exactly focused on whether you have the experience, it's a matter of how this internship can contribute to your growth, because we definitely want to help you grow either as a professional or as a student. So we also want to know, what can we do to help you with your growth? And I think we'll select applicants based on a number of factors, but the ones who with the most interest in our program and can spell out how it might benefit them, I think will lean towards those individuals.
Thank you.
I completely agree with my colleagues, and I'll just add that when you're in the workplace and you're there for 8-10 hours, you want to be working with interesting people. You want to get along. So interpersonal and communication skills are really key. So we're going to be reading your essays, your applications, to try to get a sense of who you are. So make yourself stand out by saying what's interesting about you, what's dynamic about you. So definitely respond to the skills we're looking for and the qualifications, but then add something interesting. Do you do volunteer in your community? Do you have a favorite subject? Do you have a favorite type of literature or movies you like? I mean, it's okay to add something a little personal just to give us a sense of who you are and motivate us to want to get to know you.
Perfect.
Thank you. Okay.
If I may
Yes.
jump in. Great. So I totally agree with everything that my colleagues have said already. And if I could add one quick thing, I hope that everyone attending, either in person or virtually, if they apply to U.S. Consulate General Surabaya or Medan, one thing that we see a lot is people talking about, I want to negotiate with the UN, or I'm excited to meet with Kemlu. I haven't interacted with anyone from the UN or anyone from Kemlu except applying for my visa, but that's okay. We understand, from the outside looking in, it's not exactly clear what we all do. But to the extent that you have experience understanding development challenges in Indonesia, political trends, economic trends, speak to that. If you have experience writing, conducting research, potentially for a professor or previous internship experience, or just even the subjects that you enjoy researching about, it may be the UN. That's fine. But talk about the ways that you've thought about issues and the ways that you've addressed them, or kind of deepened your knowledge of them, because ultimately with reporting work, that's really what it's about. Sometimes you'll come across an issue that we realize is relevant to U.S. Foreign policy or U.S. policymakers, and we know nothing about it. But it's our responsibility to become informed and to really become experts. So if you're interested in becoming an expert, even on some of the most niche, arcane things, and this is a great job.
Thank you, Dylan.
Okay, guys.
Rahma.
Yeah. If I may add from Medan as well. So again, I think, if you're a good team player, sorry for my video because somehow I have some trouble here. But I think if, let's say, you're a good team player, you're willing to work with others and learning more about, how is it to work at the consulate, you would be perfect for Medan. But if you see further, if Dylan's talking about the interest to understand other organizations through different meetings with the consulate, for instance, but how about the opportunity for you to understand more about Indonesia? About our colleagues and how we can actually support our fellow Indonesians. Because from my experience, as you know, it was mentioned before, I was an architect, so totally different from my positions before. And then when I joined the consulate, I had no idea that I will be able to go to different places and actually see directly, how is it like out there, and have discussions with a lot of interesting people about different issues, interesting issues. Which is quite far and different from what you see in the media. So you can get to understand more about what's happening in your country, what's happening with your people. Therefore, you will know what to do in your life. So maybe you want to help, for instance, the people on education, or maybe you want to educate, to be involved in political education, for instance, or maybe you want to help the environment. You want to make sure that, you are part of the people who save the forest in Sumatra, that kind of stuff. So it's really a broad and interesting subject to learn, and definitely will enrich you when you are done with the internship. But I can tell you that it's going to be very, very interesting.
Thank you, Mbak Rahma. So let's move on with the question from the online audience. It's coming from Dimas in Zoom. Hello, at America. I would like to ask a few questions. What is the average time commitment or daily work hour interning at the U.S. Embassy? Please give us more insight regarding the work culture at U.S. Embassy in general. Thank you.
Okay, well, we do consider it a full-time internship. So full-time for us typically means, 40 hours a week. But let me also state, again, this is not a paid internship. So what's most important to us is being flexible with your schedule. So if you come and say, hey, look, I've got a class I've got to go to on Tuesdays and Fridays, in the morning from 10 to 11, whatever it is, we'll work with you on that schedule. We're fine with that. We want to be accommodating. We know that you're giving to us, you're contributing to our mission. So we want to help you as well with your growth and your development in your career-wise and education-wise. The next question was again what? Work culture. We're fun. We're a fun place. You know, Ibu Firzi is like an amazing dancer, and she's gotten to dance for the embassy. Yeah. When we had the Secretary of State come, they all got in their wonderful traditional outfits and these instruments, and they played all this great music for the Secretary of State. How cool is that? We have activities that we do, whether it's at the embassy or the consulates. We've got a gym, we've got a cafeteria. It's a fun place to be. It really is. It's people that are. I've been in the private sector. I used to work at Samsung Electronics, and they would just it can be a bit of a beatdown sometimes, where it's like zombies walking around. Everybody's just ground down. It's not like that at the embassy. People are excited to come into the office. People are excited about the work that they do. It's really fun when it's great when you're working with people who enjoy what they do and have a great camaraderie. So I love our culture, but maybe I'm biased.
May I add something? Because I think what's really great about the opportunity to work in the U.S. Embassy is that for all of you, it's a cross-cultural experience too. I met a couple of folks here who maybe have traveled to the U.S., but yeah, I talked earlier about how many similarities there are between Indonesia and the U.S., and there are many and many deep ones that bind us together as partners. We also come from very different cultures, though, right? So you would get exposed to what it's like to work in the culture of the United States, right? Us as diplomats, the majority of staff in our embassy are Indonesian, right? But we've worked together for so long that we have cultural habits that are about like the way that we communicate, the directness maybe with the way we communicate, the way we collaborate together, the different structures that we have that are, from what I've heard from my Indonesian friends, a little bit less hierarchical than a lot of Indonesian workplaces. So it's a different environment, and you'll be exposed to that. So if you're also looking in the future to work internationally in a cosmopolitan type of business or institution, this sets you up for that, because you'll be exposed to, well, how do Americans communicate? How do we think? How do we talk to each other? How do we plan programs? How do we deal with problems? How do we address concerns of our colleagues? How do we speak to each other and interact? And that cross-cultural communication is a huge skill that you would gain no matter which one of the sections you work in. So that's kind of something I just wanted to put out there for you to think about, is that the culture of the embassy is a window into the culture of the United States as well. And you'll get that exposure when and if, inshallah, you get to work with us.
Thank you so much, Emily. I'm sorry, Pak. Thank you for all the answers. I think our time is up. And we really appreciate for all the coming questions. It's really benefited all of us here that we get information from our speakers even more. So we encourage you all to apply. Don't be afraid. Pede aja, okay? So our next session is the quiz. Are we ready for the third quiz? I really hope that you pay attention to the information that we had earlier, because it will help you a lot to answer these 5 questions. For those who missed the first and second quizzes, this is your last chance to win our goodie bags from the U.S. Embassy. We will have 3 winners, and just like before, join us at the www.mensi.com, this time with the code 15218030. Everybody from here in America also can join. Don't forget to ask your family, friends, neighbors to join us as well, because this is your last chance to win the goodie bags from us. And we now got even more participants. Woo, cool. All right, I think we are ready. Let's start with the first question. These will be your responsibilities if you intern in the Pol Econ section at U.S. Consulate General in Surabaya. Be careful. You need to be fast, but you need to read very carefully. 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Now you got all right. Learning from the previous lesson, right? Okay, good job, guys. Let's see who's in the leaderboard right now. Ooh, we have new players. Dragonite, Adeline, and Judith. Well done. Keep it up, guys. We still have 4 more questions to go. The second question. Which area that is not covered by U.S. Consulate Medan? Is it Aceh, Bengkulu, Banten, or Jambi? I think you don't need a good geography for this, okay? Make sure you answer this quickly. 3, 2, 1. Let's see what the answer is. I think you all know this. Yay, Banten! Who answered Aceh? Okay. Now let's see. Ooh, Miriam back in the leaderboard. Well done, Miriam. Miriam Maldi and Bernadita. Okay, make sure you get it faster than Miriam. She's quick, you know. Now the third question. Be ready, guys. And how to apply for the 2022 FNSIP. How to apply for the 2022 FNSIP. Send it by email, send it by postal service, drop the application. Come on.
This should be 100%. I was
Should
pretty
be.
clear.
We'll see. Yeah. There's a hope out there, you know. You just never know. Okay. We'll see who is the leaderboard right now. Ooh, Miriam. I don't know what magic that you have. You keep number 1 in the leaderboard. Good job, Miriam. Miriam Maldi and Anak Medan. Woo! Okay, Anak Medan. Nyalip ya. Okay. The next question, 4th question of 5. When will be the deadline to submit applications for 2022 FNSIP? January 18, February 18, March 18, April 18. Okay. I hope you get this right. February 18. Well done, guys. Okay, make sure you don't miss the deadline because you know it right. Now we'll see the leaderboard. It's Miriam, Micha, and JJ. Woo! It's hard to beat. Okay. We ready for the last question? I think you need a lot of luck to beat Miriam this time. She won almost all of the questions. True or false? You can find information about the 2022 FNSIP at the U.S. Embassy's website at id.usembassy.gov. True or false? Time's up. Our last question answered correctly. True, yay! Thank you everyone for joining. Now we'll see who are the top 3 in the last quiz that we have today. Is it final
Miriam
yet?
on my team?
Ah.
Is that what my
Is
voice-
Miriam Pak Jason team? Okay, we'll see. I don't think so. So Miriam, congratulations again. So and the second and third winner, you are also welcome to contact the Ad America through our online platform. You can use Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. I think that's all wrap up for today. So you all will be receiving the goodie bags, and let's give it back to Pak Jason to close
Okay,
the event. Thank you, Pak Jason.
certainly. Well, so thank you all very much for your time today. First, thank you to my colleagues for coming out online as well. For Rahma and Dylan, thank you all very much for your great explanations on the programs that are offered. You know, we really hope you all leave today with a really good understanding of what we're offering and what this internship represents and how to go about it. So a couple things, just I want to drive a couple more points in. One, how to apply. They are on our website, okay? The application, the vacancy announcements are open now. It closes February 18th. All right, is that right? Yep, that's right, February 18th. All the vacancy announcements are there. There's 19 vacancies. 19 vacancies. Let's see here. You have to apply by sending your resume to that website, Jakarta FNSIP at state.gov. There we go. Look at
You
that.
got it right
Perfect.
back.
It's all there. So yeah, look at this. That'll help you out. So that's our thing. And then it's good. The actual internship will be starting in June, ending in August. So we encourage all of you to please apply. This is a wonderful opportunity. We can't wait to have to first look at the sheer volume of applications that we'll get. And we really can't wait to start those interviews and to welcome those 19 individuals into our internship program. So thank you all so much for your time today. I hope this was a good experience. I hope you all got some great information. I think one of the hardest parts is going to be deciding which internship you want to do. Listening to all of these opportunities, there's so many cool and exciting projects and areas to work on. So please take the steps, apply, and come join us. So again, with that, thank you to my colleagues. Thank you to the audience, everybody that is here in person. Y'all are wonderful. Your questions have been great. Thank you tremendously to our online audience. There is a massive number of y'all listening to this, and thank you for your time and that you've given us today. This is excellent. And again, thank you so much to At America for hosting this wonderful event. You are such a delight to work with. So thank you all so much. And with that, have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you for the closing remarks, Pak Jason. I think that's wrap up our event for today. Thank you all for coming. We really appreciate your attendance and all the virtual audience as well. So we'll see you at the embassy. Back to the e-guide from Ad America, Mbak Anin.
Once again, give a big applause for our speakers and moderators for today. We hope that we answer all of the questions, and we wish you luck for your application. All right, everyone, earlier in this event, we have a trivia. The question was, true or false, internship opportunities at the U.S. Embassy are only open to certain majors? And I think we got the answer during the event, and the answer is false. U.S. Embassy welcomes students from all majors to apply for internship. Shout out to Regi Dimas Triatmaja from Zoom for answering correctly. Thank you to everyone who has participated to our question of the day. Don't forget to tune in next time and catch a chance to get a live shout out from us. Now, you may be wondering, how can I develop an awesome idea with a place like this? Very easy. You can send your event proposals to us by visiting our website at www.atamerica.org.id, and then you can select create a program and go to collaborate with us. All the events proposal will be reviewed and your event might be featured here soon. While you are on our website, don't forget to subscribe to be our membership to get our weekly event updates. Well, that wraps this episode. It's been fun. Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye. You can follow us on our social media. We are on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at AT America. You can get fun content, giveaways, and so much more. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, thanks for joining us. My name is Aninda, and see you next time. Bye-bye.